create an algorithm that knows you better than you know yourself.
Changes in your media feed and your diet that are calculated to adjust you slightly to the liking of some unseen advertiser.
Social media. You instantly think I use it to contact friends, family, network with so many different people, and watch content from my favorite creators. It's great, right? Yet like many other circumstances, sometimes good things just come to an end.
CryptoZoo.co. I'm gonna tease it. That's all I'm gonna say about it now.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from.
A war found in a form of social media addiction that unfortunately directly opposes your financial well-being. An exaggeration, you might think. Well,
FTX US, this is a company that's been a recurring sponsor here.
FTX went from a $32 billion company to bankruptcy.
They have a big announcement.
SEC is charging Kim Kardashian for her post on Instagram last year.
And while some examples could be subject to genuine mistakes and lack of competence, some people might actually just want to see their audience's wallet burn.
September 1st,
CryptoZoo.
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
Adverts also being everywhere also plays a major role, changing from being generic to as entertaining or tailor-made as possible, as companies have realized building a connection with viewers not only brings in customers, but keeps them loyal, locked in, always wanting more. You see, despite all the good social media has delivered in the last decade, it's also induced a catastrophic amount of financial related stress, pain and regret. And while this video's goal is not to belabor any sole influencer or celebrity on their decisions in the past or the present, it is an attempt to make clear the ways social media is almost always one step away from a sales funnel. How every influencer should always be looked at as a salesperson first, and that there's actually a solution to combat the problem taking control of many people's finances. So it all starts with a relationship, a parasocial one to be precise, where you love everything the person in question does. Maybe they're a great artist, your favorite actor, a sports star, or they just make content that resonates with you. Based on this, you dedicate time and effort to keeping up with everything they do, everything they say. They are a source of inspiration, which is good, as it's something to work towards, because some of what they say aligns with you, and that's probably where it should stop, with the word some. But as it happens, over time, without knowing, you become subject to the halo effect. Defined as a cognitive bias in which your overall impression of a person influences how you think about their character. Thoughts like they can't do no wrong, they're always right, they are rich, they are smart. But in reality, there's very little evidence to prove these thoughts. If it stopped here, it probably wouldn't be the worst in the world. Just holding them in high regard generally should be harmless. But then they mention a product or a service that they're sponsoring or one of their own. Sometimes they'll provide some sort of value, maybe a bit overpriced, but the game is the game. Other times you'd only wish you had bought a poor reviewed item off of Amazon, as you end up buying into rug pulls.
and now the mark. Oh!
Scams.
FTX went from a $32 billion company to bankruptcy.
And good for nothing courses.
I got my last grand, dude, and I got Christmas coming. Should you spend it on this? Absolutely.
Simply because of who they are, you gave them a level of credibility that they clearly didn't deserve. Where you took out your bank card, went into your savings, used credit cards to fund these purchases. And well, I needn't say anymore.
If you're asking, did I do enough due diligence? The answer is no. Did I rely?
Parasocial relationships, as an overall dynamic, fundamentally aren't always a bad thing. But an example showing a bad hand was dealt with high stakes, ultimately resulting in one of the ways people find themselves scrolling to bankruptcy.
It makes the world a little darker because you're not perceiving reality clearly anymore. It's being manipulated. It's being tricked in a way.
A lifestyle of glitz and glamour is what you're sold every time you tap into social media, which can either be the product of thoughts associated with motivation to do more, be better, or feeling a lack of self-worth and envy. I want that life. How did they do it? They got lucky. I'm just worthless. I'll copy everything they do, and that's where things start to go wrong. There's a chance you successfully only follow their good traits, nothing more. But more likely than not, the lifestyle they portrayed caught your attention, And that's the only part most people will imitate. They only buy expensive cars, I'll only buy expensive cars. They only wear designer clothes, I'll only wear designer clothes. They fly on private jets, you also want to follow suit while forgetting your resources don't match up. And you will need to spend every last dollar and then some to do so. But the harsh reality behind this is that more often than you'd think, they can't even afford the lifestyle you just imitated. It was all a lie.
Influencers in the US are being exposed for renting out a photo studio that looks like a private jet for their Instagram pics, okay? It happened.
But it's not only social media personnel, it's celebrities.
I'm getting on the stone, bro.
No.
I'm getting on the stone, bro.
Nah, man, come on.
Where'd you get your jewelry from, dog?
Your friends, your neighbor, even sometimes family, all trying to showcase a lifestyle which they can't afford, and you are none the wiser, smiling, holding your own bags, overspending, over-consuming, unaware to the truth.
Some users think, look, I can handle advertising. You know, I know what I'm doing here. I'm getting a free service. And, you know, they think they're manipulating me, but I know what I'm doing.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate.
We're the thing being sold. The classic saying is, if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product.
This is why social media is free. With adverts being the string attached, billions are spent by companies each year, which continues to increase to ensure you become a customer. But why billions? The large spend on ads is to make something viewers subconsciously internalize, so harder to forget, meaning even if it's not now, you will eventually spend your money. This includes using psychology experts to really dig deep and understand the mind of a consumer, and based on the company's customer profile, how they can create ads that drive emotions, sometimes going as far as preying on fear and relying on empathy, which are powerful enough to ensure you will buy their products or share it to someone else, with word of mouth being an extremely effective form of marketing, so they are going to get what they want. Adverts in more recent times also use famous people to build high levels of trust, also influencing your decisions, with examples like the use of Tom Brady with FTX or Taylor Swift with Capital One, and because their faces generate sales, they are handsomely paid for this. So going back to the question, why billions? Well, let's just say it helps them subtly rob you blind.
There's no waistline worry with Coke, you know. Actually, this individual-sized bottle has no more calories than half a grapefruit. Another thing that...
I don't think these guys set out to be evil. It's just the business model that has a problem.
The reality of the situation is, no matter who you are, the more time you spend on social media, the more likely you are to spend money. This is the business model, and ignorance to this fact is not bliss. But there are ways to use social media without it being a tool that takes control of both your time and money. The first step to this is understanding that no influencer, celebrity, person on your screen is your friend. The relationship is more tuned to a business, a deal, an agreement, which for consumers isn't favorable because 9 out of 10 times money is their priority, with your financial situation being an afterthought even if it isn't maliciously intended. If you are taking up bad debt,
I have 15 credit cards and they're all maxed out,
spending your savings, doing everything apart from prioritizing your finances first, then the financial blow that inevitably comes next, they won't have a clue about, nor will they actually care.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their parents' money.
Whether it's investment advice, an ultimate money-making course, a product sponsor, or anything else, your own due diligence is key. So yes, as commonly said, do your own research, and I actually mean it. Once this is understood, you need a way to take control of your money and minimize your likelihood to unnecessarily spend said money. The easiest way to do this is using a budget. I've mentioned the use of some sort of budget many times before, simply due to its fundamental importance in personal finance, as it allows you to assign your money specific tasks before it even comes in, making it less likely for you to keep spending on a whim based on your favorite influencer's call.
I want that.
But even with this, with enough time spent on it, social media can still be a lingering problem, which is why there should be a consideration to take regular breaks. As I started to allude to earlier, it's a very simple relationship. The more time you spend on social media, the more ads you're shown. The The more ads you're shown, the higher the chance of you spending money when you probably shouldn't be. Taking regular breaks can help deter excessive spending and many other negative factors associated with spending too much time on social media. There are many different ways to do this, from using timers and apps to track your usage to having periods where you go completely without using it, referred to as having a social media detox, which work differently for everyone but all lead to the same goal. The various tricks that are used by big corporations to ensure you press buy, the need to chase a lifestyle that people portray they supposedly have, and a reasonable amount of trust you put in the word of your favorite influential personnel can be deterred by occasionally at your own discretion using one button, because the reality is the life you really need to live actually happens offline. Hey, thank you for making it to this point in this video. I definitely appreciate it. And just on the assumption that you did like this video, then please leave this video a like, comment about what you liked, or just general thoughts. And yeah, consider subscribing of course as well. And yeah, if you did like this video, then I would definitely recommend having a look at my video around quitting the rat race, this being the ultimate money trap and should be avoided at all costs. Video should be here on the screen. And yeah, share this video to someone else that may like this and actually will provide them some sort of value that needs to hear this, so that their change can be televised.